Here, I'll hold the mic and you hold this. Just kidding. Now you're sounding like Becky. Wonderful to be here with all of you. What a great turnout. What a great crowd. Congratulations on getting up early Saturday morning and being here. We had to get up really early because we came from Vancouver Island, and some of you know I'm not like the biggest morning person, so when the alarm goes off at 5:10, I'm like, really? Why do we have a meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning? So some of you may have seen on Facebook, Kathleen and I and Becky just spent a week with our UK team, and one of the things that we have learned to do is to combine the work with fun. And the work is fun, but over the years, I've been in network marketing 9 years, over the years I've taken a lot of trips where I would fly into Thailand, I'd go to the event, and I'd go home. And I'd fly into Israel, I'd go to the event, and I'd go home, and I'm not doing that anymore. If you notice, we spent 4 days shopping in London. So we had a blast. When Becky was talking about not craving red wine, we got into the habit of having a bottle of Prosecco every day at lunch. So I'm not craving red wine anymore, but I'm kind of wondering where the Prosecco went. So Kathleen and I, this is kind of funny. Where were we? Las Vegas, where a young woman came up and said, she had a heavy accent. She said, "Kathleen and Kathleen." And we go, "Yeah." And she goes, "And both diamonds?" And we go, "Yeah." And she goes, "Same family?" We go, "Yeah." And she goes, "Not fair. Not fair." So it's getting a little strange in a good way. Before Kathleen and I go, it's still so funny to say my own name. Before Kathleen and I go into the comp plan, we're both just going to share with you just a little bit about our backgrounds. And again, it's wonderful to see all our Monavie friends. I started in network marketing 9 years ago. I was in corporate America for over 25 years, worked for some great companies like IBM and Levi Strauss. And in my early 40s, just a couple years ago, I realized that as much as I had enjoyed being an employee, I knew there was something more for me to do. I just didn't want to be an employee anymore. I'd had a great experience, but I started reading some books like Think and Grow Rich and Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Anybody know that a book can change your life?
Yes.
I am living proof. Those two books changed my life. I started shifting how I thought about wealth creation, and I started thinking about money differently, and I started thinking about time freedom differently. And so I left my corporate America career and I became a real estate agent in San Francisco because I thought, that's entrepreneurial, that's my own business, that's my world, and I'll get to create the time freedom that I want. Any real estate agents here? You do not get time freedom. No, I mean, it's a great way to make an income. I had a lot of fun, but you definitely do not get time freedom. When your buyer calls you at midnight and you're in your jammies watching a movie, and they say, "I want to write up a contract right now," you go, "Goody!" And you get into your clothes and get in the car and go. So about 4 years into being a real estate agent in San Francisco, I looked around at one of the Tuesday afternoon managers meetings, and I was surrounded by wonderful people, mostly women. Most of them were over 60 years old, some of them were 70. There was one woman that was 80, and they had all been selling real estate for 30 years. And I just got this sinking feeling in my stomach. It's like, I don't think this is right either. I fast forward 20 years, I don't want to be doing this. And I really, because of the books that I read and the masterminds that I was a part of, I really started to realize the difference between active income, passive income, and residual income. And most people out in the world have no idea that there is an opportunity for residual income. The money that the work that you did last year can create money for you in future years, over and over again. This business model is the best business model I've ever seen to create residual income. And I'd never heard of it. Well, I'd heard of it, but I'd never been drawn to it. I'd had somebody years ago come to me and say, "Come sell magnets with me." I was like, I don't think so. My sister years ago, got involved with a makeup company, and I just didn't see myself doing that either. So when Monavie showed up for me 9 years ago, I was one of those people. Anybody heard some no's? Like, no, I don't want to do your business with you. Well, I'm living proof that someday you will hear somebody who will become hugely successful in your business say yes right away. Because that was me. When my girlfriend told me about it May 2nd, 2006, I was like jumping out of my chair. She didn't know anything about it. We'd never heard of the acai berry. We knew nothing about network marketing, but she started telling me about it, and I just thought, maybe this is what I've been looking for. Maybe I don't have to start my own company. Maybe I don't have to buy a franchise. Maybe I can do this. And I just said, sign me up. I mean, I literally said right then, sign me up, we'll figure it out later. We'll do our due diligence later. And we jumped in, and I became the first and only, and I think maybe even still today, the first and only single woman in that first company to reach one of the top levels. And I'm not single anymore because of network marketing. I met Kathleen's wonderful brother, Mark. So now I'm married. And that was a benefit of network marketing that I wasn't looking for. I certainly didn't think that was going to happen, but I'm really glad. So when I say that network marketing has changed everything in my life, I have a husband and 3 amazing kids because I said yes to this industry. So you might already have a husband and 3 amazing kids, or 1 or 2. You might not be looking for that, but I can promise you, if you're new to this, and if you stay with it, and if you develop these skills and partner with the team that you've started with, your life will change in ways that you cannot even imagine. So I was with that first company, Monavie, wonderful experience for 7 years, and about 3 years ago, let's just say things weren't working quite as well. And I didn't know that I was looking for another network marketing company. I thought I was going to go do something else and kind of rebuild that first company. But our friend Kelly Banger came to me and said, why don't you take a look at Jeunesse with me? And I went online, and the first thing that caught my eye was the stem cell technology in the skincare. I've seen the same esthetician in San Francisco for 20 years now, and she's a bit of a nut about ingredients and technology, and I thought, she has never once mentioned stem cell technology applied to skincare. So that intrigued me. I started talking to her. 10 days on the product, I walked into my regularly scheduled appointment, and she took one look at me and said, what are you doing? Your skin looks amazing. And I thought, aha, there might be something to this. So I was intrigued enough with the products, and then Kelly and I flew to Orlando to meet the founders, Wendy and Randy, Scott, Lucy, the executive team, Dr. Donna, and spent a couple of days with them, and I walked away and I thought, if I decide to do this, these are definitely people I would feel really good about partnering with. And it is your own business, but you are business partners with the company. So you want to feel good about who's at the top. Has anybody ever had a job where they just did not like the boss at all? Have you noticed that pretty soon you don't want to work there anymore? It truly does all start at the top. So everything that's good about Jeunesse starts with Wendy and Randy. They're incredible people, and I know them very well now. I've been with Jeunesse almost 3 years, traveled all around the world with them, and they are the same people sitting, having dinner with them, having a cup of coffee with them, that they are on the stage. I always walk away and feel like I just had dinner with my super smart, super rich, they're 2 of the richest people I know, aunt and uncle from the South. And that's always really comforting to me, that I know the hearts of the founders, of the people that are running this show. So after that couple of days in Orlando, where I got to know Wendy and Randy and the executive team, I had 5 hours to fly from Orlando back home to San Francisco. And I'm a bit of a numbers person, some of you know that, so I pulled out my computer and I brought up the spreadsheet that I had kept for 7 years with Monavie. So I had all the volume from that first company, and I pulled out the comp plan for Jeunesse, and I started comparing the 2. And I made over $4 million in 6 years with Monavie. That was a good first experience. And when I applied the Jeunesse comp plan to that volume, I would have made at least $2 million more. Wow. And those numbers sound crazy, right? Just think 50% raise. So by the time I landed, I thought, if I don't say yes to this opportunity, I'm going to be standing on the sidelines in 2 or 3 years regretting it. And everything that I hoped would happen when I said yes 2.5 years ago is happening. We are in an incredible place, in an incredible time in history for Jeunesse. How many people this is your first network marketing company? You are very, very lucky. You have chosen extremely well. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to my wonderful business partner, good friend, and sister-in-law, Kathleen, and she's going to tell you a little bit about her story.
Well, the good thing is that everybody who's here, especially if you're new as well, but everybody else who is here, it's a good thing that you end up finding networking, and everybody finds it a different way. Kathleen went through the corporate route. Becky and I were party plan. I was 27 years old, 7.5 months pregnant with my first son, who's going to be 21 next week. And I had a really good government job after graduating from university. Walked into my boss's office and said, I just want to let you know I'm not coming back after maternity leave. Kind of looked at me like I had 10 heads and probably thought it was the raging hormones or something crazy like that. And he said, what are you talking about? And I said, there has to be a better way. I can't see myself doing this. My mom had stayed home and raised 5 kids. I knew something, and looking back now, that was probably the entrepreneurial part of me that thought I cannot work in 4 walls for the rest of my life, and I just couldn't see myself doing that. So I never went back to that job, and that job came along with a pension and, you know, really good security, but I just knew that I could find a way, and I would find a way through being able to stay home and bring in an income. I ended up going into a traditional business, owned a company. It was a janitorial company. We became the largest company in Victoria for janitorial. We just bought up a bunch of small companies and grew one large company. We had 150 employees. Anybody here ever owned their own company? You know the stresses that come with that, right? We had a massive amount of money going out every month and not so much coming in. Lots of stresses with 150 employees. And it was crazy. It was a crazy time. Now, I remember laying in bed, had 2 little boys, and laying in bed looking at the ceiling thinking, what am I going to do? This is not a better way. What am I going to do? And so sold the business at that time. At that time I was a single mom, so my boys were 1 and 3. And I was invited to a party. Anybody else ever been invited to a party? No. And so I went to that party, and my first thought was, I can't buy anything, but she's probably got wine, so I'm going to go. So I went, and my sister-in-law nudged me halfway through the presentation and said, you'd be really good at this. And I remember 2 things going through my head. You can't make any money at this, and this isn't really a viable business. Well, I didn't know much about the industry, and I knew even less about myself, and I ended up spending just short of 11 years with that company. It was absolutely incredible, and I learned so much about myself. Best self-development ever. And then after having raised all my, raised them to the teenage years where they were really, they were really growing and had really, flourished into middle school and high school, I had heard about residual income. And what I had been doing for 11 years was active income, and it was a lot of work. And so when I heard about residual income, I fell in love with the concept of residual income. And I have seen over the last 7.5 years that I've been in this industry of networking, more people be able to work from home, achieve success, and have financial and time freedom faster than any other profession that I'm aware of. It's incredible. You can take a 30-year career and put it into 3 to 5 years if you put your head down and work really hard. And especially with an opportunity like Jeunesse, with the products, the people that are behind you, and the incredible growth that we're experiencing, this is definitely the right time. I'm so grateful that Jeunesse showed up via Kathleen almost 3 years ago. We've had an absolutely incredible time, and it's just, the best part is just saying to John, it's so amazing how life comes full circle. In my very first company, that party plan show that I went to, John's wife, Judy McNabb, was my sponsor. And I became an RVP in that company and followed in Judy's footsteps, and now we're all full circle, and it's so great to be together because we've learned so much. But one of the things that I love is that it doesn't matter where you are, even if you've never done this before, you can have success. level playing field for everybody. And with this compensation plan, which Kathleen and I are gonna go through, you can see how people who can come in, who've never done this before, can start making a great income.
One, sure. So Dr. Donna did an amazing job of sharing the products, wasn't that great? I texted her while she was speaking and saying, is there any way we could get you to do a recording and upload it on YouTube so we can all learn how to say a lot of, we're not doctors, we're not on the medical advisory board, so we don't need to repeat everything that she said, but there were just so many incredible nuggets. So now we're going to shift gears and we're going to talk about the comp plan, which is one of the many things that are really important. You have to have several pieces to the puzzle together. We have incredible founders, we have an amazing executive team, we have products that everybody loves, we have a global platform, but if you had all of that and you had a comp plan that didn't work, you're not going to have a successful company. And everything that's good about our comp plan has to do with Wendy Lewis, our co-founder. We have a very unusual situation. Wendy is an extremely bright woman. She has a PhD in statistics. Anybody else in the room have a PhD in statistics? I mean, just think about how smart you have to be to have a PhD in math. So her brain works differently than most people, and she, over the years, wrote a number of comp plans for other network marketing companies. So I think why our comp plan is so good is partly because she has that kind of a brain, she sees numbers, but it's also because she brought all of those experiences and brought everything that was good and that worked into one compensation plan. So we talked a little bit about active income and residual income. When I worked for IBM years ago, I got paid two ways. I got paid a salary and commission. So that's two ways. When I was working with, as a real estate agent, I got paid 100% commission, one way, totally active. We have found over the years that getting paid 6 different ways, some active, some passive, some residual, is much, much, much better than what we traditionally do in business to make money. So we're going to go through these 6 different ways. Retail profit, customer acquisition. Oh, okay, we'll just go right to retail. Yeah, that's good. Do you want to do this one first?
Sure. One of the best benefits, this is what so many people love, is, again, when I was talking about getting out of the gate really quick and starting to make money right away, and this is one of the things that the Instantly Ageless video that Becky put out really brought kind of to the forefront for a lot of us, was the amount of money that you could make off of your retail shopping. So a lot of people, when you sign up, you get for your starter pack comes with a website, a replicated website, and on there it's just like having a shopping cart. People can go right to the products, they can add to cart, and you get the difference between the wholesale and the retail in commission. Paid instantly, everything's in real time. So it's great, and especially because one of the things that I love, and I know Becky and I, when we first were looking, we really wanted something that leveraged social media and was international. That was those two things were really important to us. And this retail cart means that people can shop all over the world through that where we actually deliver product to through your retail shopping cart, and you get commission for that. So it's fantastic, and it opens up, I mean, I think there's 115 different countries right now that we're currently shipping to. So the sky's the limit with that retail profit that you're getting.
We also have a great preferred customer program. How many know that having a lot of customers is the foundation that you need for a successful network marketing company? We can't all be distributors. We all have to have a foundation for great customers too. And Jeunesse has put together a program called Get to Preferred Customers, It's Paid for You. And how it works is you as a distributor bring in 2 preferred customers, you get a $50 bonus, you get 2 free bottles of serum, and the next month your auto ship is waived. So you put all those things together, it's about a $400 money savings product bonus. So it's a great little program. Think of it like a tool in the toolbox. The business isn't going out and getting 100 preferred customers. While that might be nice, and it'd be nice to have all that free product, the real money is in bringing in wholesale customers and other distributors. But this is a nice tool in the toolbox to have. I've never seen that slide before. So this is oh, thanks, Becky. This is a list of our sign-up packages. When you join Jeunesse, you pay your membership fee. That gives you your replicated website, everything you need to run a real business, a very successful business. All the reports and everything you need is captured for you. And when you start, you choose one of these packages. We don't need to go through all. Oh, I guess it does have the bonus. Is there another slide that has the bonus? Or is this it?
No, I think there is another one as well.
Why don't we go to the other one? Never mind. We'll use this one. Okay, so see on the almost the far right where it says new customer bonus, the range, you can't see the very bottom one, the range goes from $25 for the basic up to $250 for the ambassador and $200 for the jumbo. What's nice about these sign-up bonuses, we call them customer acquisition bonus or CABs, is they're 2 to 4 times higher than the industry average. I was used to, if somebody spent $1,100 on a package, I got a $75 sign-up bonus. I thought that was great. With Jeunesse, when somebody spends $1,100 on a sign-up package, the sponsor gets $250. So you can make $1,000 a month just by signing up one person a week on the ambassador package. What's great about these bonuses is they put money in our pockets very quickly. And when you first bring somebody into the business, the sooner you can help them make their first $500, the faster your business is going to grow. So great bonus to start with.
I also, when I'm working, talking to somebody and sponsoring them, one of the things I do is I gauge what if they're coming in as a builder, I absolutely really encourage them to take some of the top packs. First of all, they're going to want to have the product to share. It's also great because they can retail the products to their friends and family and get that product out there and into their hands right away. So again, some people want to come in and just use the skincare, and that's fantastic, but we have a lot of people, most of the people that are coming in that are serious about it will choose the jumbo pack or the ambassador pack, because it also gives them some added benefits that you'll want to ask the person that brought you if you're here as a guest, being a pearl or a sapphire and getting paid at that rank while you build the business. And I've never seen that before in the industry, where you can be at a paid at rank just for purchasing a kit. So it gives you some more leverage to grow your business faster.
So team commission, this is the third way that we get paid, and this is a very significant part of our commission structure. Jeunesse has 2 very high paying out parts of our overall commission, team commission and leadership matching bonus. So team commission, how it works is that's you at the top of your business, and then you place people on the left and the right. We have a binary tree. If that's a new concept to you, just think left and right. And everybody has 2 legs to build. Every time the Jeunesse computer sees 300 points on one side and 600 points on the other, and all of our products have points associated with them. So every time 300 points on one side, 600 on the other happens in your business, then the computer is going to send $35 to your commission report and put that into your fund. We get paid every Sunday night at midnight Eastern. The new week starts over. So what's great about team commission are a couple of things. One, you only have to sponsor 2 people. You only have to become what we call an executive, one on the left, one on the right, with a 100-point order. You qualify for team commission. In a lot of compensation plans, you have to sponsor 4, 5, even 10 people before you qualify for team commission. With Jeunesse, you only have to sponsor 2. And the other thing that's great about our team commission is it caps at $26,250 a week. Anybody think they could live on $105,000 a month? This is an amazing part of our compensation plan. Good? Okay, next one. So this is the next really high part of the payout. It's called leadership matching bonus, and this chart shows you all the different levels of leadership that we have, all the way from associate all the way up to crown diamond. And leadership matching bonus, I mean, as you go to some of the bigger events, you're going to hear people from the stage that they won't necessarily share it from the stage, but we know that some of them are making many hundreds of thousands a month. Doesn't that sound crazy? This is real. Well, if team commission caps at $105,000 a month, where's the rest of those hundreds of thousands coming from? Leadership matching bonus. And our leadership matching bonus pays out 65 to 75% of your team's what they earn on team commission. There's a lot of companies where this particular type of commission is like 2 to 10%. Does 65 to 75% sound better?
Yes.
A lot more money.
The other thing that I just like to point out is that, again, one of the things that we love about this business, it is a relationship business, and that's one of the reasons why I have loved this industry for so long. And so the leadership matching bonus really encourages that relationship of reaching down and helping other people be successful. You've all heard the saying, right? If you help enough people be successful, you'll have everything you need. This is just modeled in how Jeunesse compensates us for helping people below us be successful. So it really is, and as you're going through, you'll see when I mentioned those packs, you'll see the Jade Executive, the Pearl Executive, and the Sapphire Executive. So the Pearl and the Sapphire, you can actually get paid those ranks while you're building to that level with those packages that you can choose when you come in as well.
The other thing I like about leadership matching bonus is it's very front-loaded. Sometimes you'll hear people will say something negative about a network marketing company and they'll say that it's top-loaded, meaning that only people at the top or a lot of people at the top are making the money, but not necessarily the people that are just getting started. With Jeunesse, the 65 to 75% that you can make on leadership matching bonus as you advance in rank, you can get to Sapphire, which is still a very young rank in Jeunesse, and make 55% of that 75% possible. So it's definitely very front-loaded. Does that make sense? 55% at Sapphire. We actually have Sapphires, well maybe he's a Ruby now, but has anybody heard of Samson Lee? He's I think he's a double diamond now, great guy from Southern California. His sponsor, Robert, I always say Roger. Robert, I think he's I think he's a Ruby now, but for a long time he was a Sapphire. Because he sponsored Samson Lee, who became a superstar in his business. Now just imagine what his business looks like. One side is huge because he has a double diamond on that side. And the other side is, he's a Sapphire. Well, in a lot of companies there would be an income cap on a Sapphire level. You might be able to make a few thousand a month and then they're going to cap it, even though you have all of this volume from this double diamond rock star that you brought in. With Jeunesse, we have no income caps on the ranks. If you bring a superstar, they're going to keep paying you leadership matching bonus on all of those people. So this particular person as a Sapphire, I think he was making about $50,000 a month. That's a really good thing. I love that Jeunesse keeps those possibilities in the comp plan. It's easy to take those away, and they don't. So how many people love to travel? We do. Anybody love to travel for free? Anybody know that that's better? I think in my I counted recently, in my 9 years in this profession, I think I've been on 15 amazing first-class trips, like Bora Bora, the one and only Palmilla in Cabo, the Grand Wailea several times in Maui, Macau, Thailand, amazing. Most network marketing companies send their top ranks on amazing trips, and Jeunesse definitely has those. I get to go to Tahiti with my husband in 3 weeks. Jeunesse has so much more, though, than the ranks that just the top people get to go on, and I love this about our trip. Like when I started looking at Jeunesse, I didn't know that a travel program like this existed in the industry. Because of the way that Wendy and Randy put together the travel incentive program, thousands of people, and I mean thousands of people at Jade, Pearl, and Sapphire get to go on the trips. And the way that they do that, like last year there were several thousand of us went on an Alaska cruise. And all different ranks. 3 boats, 3 cruise ships. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare for corporate. It was really fun for us. So how did all those people earn that trip at Jade and Pearl and Sapphire? It's because several times a year they put together a promotion, and you have the opportunity to get there by accruing travel points. And how you get travel points is by signing people up. All of the sign-up packages have travel points assigned to them. That's one way that you can get there, just through sponsoring people on sign-up packages. Another way is a combination of that and team commissions. How many cycles do you have? And then another way is by advancing in rank. So it's a very egalitarian, is that how I want to say that? Yeah. Everybody gets to travel. It's not just you're sitting in the audience saying, oh, someday I hope I get to Diamond so that I get to go on one of those trips. There will be thousands of us that earn our way to the Singapore convention in September. I don't know how many, probably a couple thousand are going to the Riviera Maya in July. I think we have a few people here going. Suzanne, now would be a good time to raise your hand. So, and Linda, yep, yeah, you are. So our travel programs are amazing. Kathleen mentioned earlier that the personal development that she's learned along the way in this profession, it truly is one of the very, very best parts about this. The person that you become by stepping into these shoes, Sandy, can you relate to that? Is truly one of the best parts. You know, creating your own financial freedom is incredible. Helping other people create their financial freedom is amazing. But the reason why people stay is because of the community that you create. And Jeunesse is doing their part, you know, with the travel programs. We all get to travel together, the amazing events, and then it's up to us to do the rest. I mean, when I first heard about this business model, my first aha was, seriously, the company does all that hard stuff? And all I have to do is tell people about it? All I have to do is share it? I get to do the fun stuff. They're the ones that are trying to work the customer service program. I can complain about it a little bit, but it's not my job to fix it. It's their job to fix it. And they are working night and day. So if you've had some frustrations with customer service or a shipping issue, I promise you it will get better. Nobody could have predicted how fast we were going to grow. And I heard Becky say this recently, would you rather be working with a company that's got no issues whatsoever, everything's working, and the people at the corporate office have so much time on their hands they're bored? Or would you rather be working with a company where the products are so hot and the opportunity is so good that they can't keep up with everything and they keep having to hire more people? I mean, sometimes it's a bit of a struggle, but trust me, that scenario is much, much better.
The only thing I want to add to that is conferences. We do have conferences throughout the year. Again, like Kathleen had mentioned, you can earn those. But one of the things that impressed me the most about the very first conference that I attended with Jeunesse, which was in Las Vegas, was there was absolutely no hype. It was just nuts and bolts. And everybody who's come back from those conferences with us say it was the best training. You hear from everybody. You hear from the people that are, who've never been in the industry before. You get the tools to be able to come home and do exactly what you need to do without all the fanfare, which is really what we want to, we want to invest back in people and give them exactly what they need.
So now we're just going to go through, we talked about the Riviera Maya, that's coming up in July. That's part of that travel program that many, many people at all different ranks have earned. And if you were in the Asia region, instead of winning the Riviera Maya trip, they won the Dubai trip. And Punta Cana was for all of our friends in Latin America. And then the Diamond Discovery, I mentioned that in 3 weeks we get to go to Tahiti. I can't wait to hear where we're going to get to go next year. How many people want to be a diamond engineer? Okay, we're going to help you get there. And we actually, where's it? Kat just created this for us last night. Becky and I were talking about how, and Kathleen earlier in the week, we were talking about how we always talk about the ambassador package being our favorite business builder package. It's the $1,100 package. And if you're serious about this, and if you're bringing on people that are serious, we thought that was the package that you wanted to bring people to. And it's a great package, but we need to start talking more about this because I think, frankly, the reason why we didn't promote it is we hadn't really figured out what an incredible deal it is. The Jumbo Ambassador Pack, it's $1,800, so it's a little more money. I mean, it's, you know, not a little, it's $700 more than the ambassador package. But you get a lot more product, and a year's worth of auto ship is included in that. So it's an incredible deal, way better than the ambassador package. So if you have somebody that is serious about building the business, definitely at least bring them in on the ambassador package, but take a serious look at this jumbo package. We're gonna start doing a much better job of promoting this one.
You will start to see now that we're really, gaining momentum, especially in Canada. You saw the numbers Becky shared earlier with the growth that we're experiencing. We just had a Toronto University, which was amazing. We had 1,200 people out to that. So what we're doing now is we're really actively going to places that got some really good growth happening. So we're in Montreal on the 28th of June. So again, this is what's so great about that. If you know people that are in that area, they can go. Guests are free. It's $19.95. It's a full day. Dr. Omzalog is going to be there, so he's going to be teaching on the product. And I'm actually going to be at that event as well. So it's a great thing to plug, all of these regionals are great to plug people into. They'll get everything that they need from those regionals, and then they just basically come back to you, and then you work with them at a distance. The next night we're in Toronto on the 29th for an opportunity meeting, and all of that information in your back office on your landing page. If you just go to the corporate calendar there, events calendar, all of those will be on those calendars. You just click on it, and there's the one in Toronto, and all of the information will be there as well. This is, again, a free event, so great place to plug in. And Lucy West will be there with Dr. Omzalog as well, and myself. Oh, and then this is coming up, our Convention of the Americas. This is our first official Convention of the Americas, right? Yeah, official. Yeah, it's in November. Again, you can earn your way here, so if you don't hit the thing, you can choose. There's a Singapore trip coming up, which is September 11th through the 13th. But if you don't earn your way there, you can choose to earn your way to this convention, which will be held in Orlando. It's going to be an incredible time, and usually in the fall, there's always, there can be some product information, new product stuff coming out, and they're definitely targeting for some stuff for this event, so it's going to be an exciting time, and definitely a date you want to put on your calendar.
How many people have heard the phrase, we build from event to event?
Yeah.
If you haven't heard that, you want to start really thinking in terms of that. The most important thing you can do for your business is to go to as many events as possible and bring people. Because, just like today, imagine that you've got a handful of people that didn't make it. How much are you really going to be able to go home and relay what happened here this morning? Well, imagine, times 10 that at one of the bigger conventions. The more people you bring to the events, the faster your business is going to grow, because you're leveraging all of the leadership and the corporate team. Singapore, we talked about, that's September 11th to the 13th. And again, you can earn your way to Singapore, you can earn your way to the Orlando Convention.
I attended my very first international convention in Macau last year with Kathleen. There was 13,000 people, 9,000 of them were from mainland China. It was unlike anything I'd ever experienced before. It was in a building that literally just held enough people. It was the Rockstar Stadium, and it was absolutely amazing. But you know what it did for me is it really I had earned my way there, and it had made me see really where this company was going. And I remember coming back, and we spent a few days in Hong Kong, and saying to Kathleen, my whole belief level just went through the roof by attending one of these. So you can work really hard. Like I said, you can compact, if you put your head down in the next 3 to 4 months, you can be at this. This is going to hold 15,000 people in Singapore, and it's going to be absolutely incredible. And when you see, that everybody from all walks of life come together under one roof, it is absolutely, if you could channel that energy, it would be absolutely incredible.
It's totally life-changing.
Okay, so now we want to hear from some of you. Becky, you want to come back up with us?